started off as disco. You know, there was always disco music. You had your Martha Walsh's, you know, Do Tons of Fun and all that. But when our genre of music came out, they called it dance music, and then from dance music it was freestyle. At least that's how I remember it.
My very first freestyle collaboration is called Love Me Tonight, Quiereme Esta Noche, and that particular track came out in 1990. And then my other freestyle track is called titled Why Did You Quit On Me, Me Abandonaste, and in some parts of the United States they call it Hamas. I don't know exactly why they call it Hamas, but it's AKA Hamas. So
I've been in the music industry since 1987. I put out 3 LPs in '88, and so it's been what, about 23 years or so now. It's been quite a while. I pretty much, when I got into freestyle music, it was, believe it or not, an accident. It wasn't something that I planned to do. I just loved the music, and I started writing. And decided to go to a studio with a couple of friends just to mess around, and before you know it, people started approaching me and saying, you know what, you should put that on record. And one thing led to another, and I was approached by a record label, and they signed me, and I did 3 records.
I've been in music since I was a kid. I used to play drums, play violin for 5 years, clarinet for 2, and I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life, and but it was there all along. All of a sudden, I started writing poems, and, you know, I used to sing Michael Jackson, you know, stuff like that. And one day, I decided to convert one of the poems I wrote into a song, and I called it Latin Groove. But I started submitting it, but I didn't know what to do. And one day, I heard they were giving out a recording contract in the Bronx by an independent label called Jackie Jack. And I wrote a song called Say You Love Me, and I took it to him on tape. And he turned around and said, that sounds good on tape. And he shut the radio off and said, now let me hear you do it. And I did it, and he handed me the recording contract. That's how it happened.
I was a natural born music person since I was a child. My mom would tell me that I sang every commercial that came on TV, and I've always loved it. And I met Nelson Cruz in, I believe it's 1985. And I've been hanging on with the freestyle crew since then. And I love every minute of it.
Been singing since I'm 5 years old. So, I don't know, just, it's always been in my blood.
Well, when I got into freestyle, it was just getting started, and I didn't know much about it. I was more of a Black Celebration type of person. But once I got into it and all the new stuff started coming out, I redirected in that direction, and ever since then, I've been doing it.
The only difference between myself and most artists is I was pretty much in love with playing baseball. I wanted to go to school to be a lawyer. I went to St. John's University. So that's when I decided I didn't leave freestyle. All I did was become a fan. I wasn't a performer anymore, but I never stopped loving music until it's been inside of me. I'll never leave. I don't know what any other type of music is. I will turn on the radio and I will put a CD in. They're not playing freestyle. Other than that, you can ask me all the questions you want of the most famous artists in the world, and I cannot tell you a damn thing. It was just, I have no idea. Basically like an acronym. I am nice. And in freestyle, we had class. We like to spell. Not like today's music where you see that the youth is not encouraged to take the time out to spell our language correctly. They're using such words as the, D-A, where we took the time out to put the T-H-E. And E and ice was something that represented, number one, correct spelling, but at the same time, it gave the message, I am nice. And it was easier to say Ian and feel sophisticated. Have that sense of grandeur where I felt like I was somebody that came out of a bad situation in my life, and now I'm somebody that can show other people how to do the basic things in life. And just get up in the morning and brush your teeth.
I founded Trilogy back in 1983, but it wasn't called Trilogy at the time. And we got another partner that came in, because I had a partner by the name of Hector Masonette Jr., who was my partner JR in Trilogy, and he brought in a gentleman by the name of Randy Ramos, who's now known as Duran from Trilogy. And once we got the third member, we said, wait a minute, we're gonna have to change our name, and there's three of us. And on a pizza night, we came up with the name Trilogy. Yeah, yes. The second release, Latin Love, was the one that really put us on the map. I wrote that song in 85. You gotta excuse me because I'm a little old. I'm probably the oldest guy in freestyle right now. No, I wrote it in 85. We recorded it in 86. We released it in 87. And it's called Latin Love. And I feel real grateful to my God that poor kid from Brooklyn went ahead and was allowed to write a song that 25 years later is still around. By the grace of God, I'm still doing shows. People love it, and that's great. And I appreciate all you fans. And I'm telling you ahead of time, there is no me without you. Without the fans, there is no artist. Because you're the ones that come to the shows. You're the ones that support us. You're the ones that make us. So I thank you in advance.
Well, it was a moment in time that it was the end of an era for me, the end of an era with a relationship that I had. I wrote 3 songs for this particular girl. 2 of them were towards the part where I needed her. And this particular one, What Did You Put on Me, Me Abandonaste, this is the song that gave me the courage to end the era, because I understood, even though I was so young, I understood that it was time for me to go on. So I tried my best at rescuing the relationship. But there's just a moment where you just have to make a decision. What are you gonna do? Either you keep on pursuing something that is not going anywhere, or you just you go on your own, without before it gets to a dangerous level. This is the song that I wrote to give me the courage, the strength for me to say enough is enough. I'm getting off this bus today. If you need this particular track to give you the strength in order for you to say I'm strong, I'm real, I'm living, I have to take care of myself, please do use it. It's a very good tool.
Fatal Attraction. It's a crazy song. Basically, with myself, when I was 17 years old, I was dating probably one of the most beautiful women that you've ever seen. She was a model. She did a lot of, she was all over the place, beautiful. And she wanted things so fast. And I was too young. And I couldn't provide with her needs at that moment in time because I had a baseball career. I was going to school. I was going to be a lawyer. I was going to do this. And marriage was on her lips. And when I backed off, she turned into something so evil. She wanted to kind of force me to do things in a forceful way, trying to control people, get into certain situations with people just because she knew that she lost me. and she became the fatal attraction. You set your eyes upon her and you believe that she's the most beautiful thing in the world, which she was, but once you don't give her what she wants, she just turns into something that you don't want.
You gotta understand, as old as I am now, I was still kind of young and naive back then. I was shocked to be on stage singing with, you know, great performers, like TKA, like the Cover Girls, Sapphires, the George Lamons. You know, I was like, but I didn't expect anything. I was just saying, let's see how far this goes. And when it finally blew up, I was like, my God, this is for real. And no, I didn't expect it to blow up, but I was really thankful to God and that it did.
I was ready for it. Did I expect it? No. It was definitely a great time of my life. Had a great time. You know, did a lot of shows, met a lot of people, and I enjoyed it.
I thought so. I thought so because it became a big sensation overnight, and it was just like an everyday thing.
We do what we do to the best of our ability. If you like it, we thank you for liking it. If you don't like it, hey, listen, you're not going to please everyone. We just, as individuals, me personally, let me talk for me. I, as an individual, I strive to continue. I strive to do better. There's going to be people who like it. There's going to be people who don't like it. There's going to be people, you know, does it give by titling it, does it give it the credibility? I think the artist is the one that gives it the credibility, and the fans let us know whether we were right or wrong. Because without the fans, we're nothing.
Latin freestyle to a certain extent, but honestly, yeah, I'd say it's attached to the Latino community, but is it really owned by the Latino community? No, because you can travel to just being here in New Jersey. A lot of the fans here are Italian, and I walked in the streets today and I met a couple of individuals, and had nothing to do with Latino blood. They were Italian, but they recognized who I was. They knew all the artists. They knew everybody. It's you know, the origin, yeah, Latino, absolutely. But as far as the love of the music, it's worldwide.
Actually, well, I'm half Puerto Rican, half Italian, so I've been around a lot of Latino people my whole life. So it wasn't really, very. It wasn't really different for me. You know what I mean? It was just like I was around my family.
Freestyle has never gone away. It just slowed down for a while, but it's here. It's in our system. You can't say the story of many of us Latinos without mentioning freestyle. So it's here. It's not going anywhere, and we have given our heritage to the new generation now. So it's all good. It's here. It's safe. It's safe and it's growing. It's a beautiful musical virus that is spreading out all over the world. All over the world. Germany is big in Germany, big in Brazil, big in many countries all around the world.
Took a downfall because of the new generation. They prefer more hardcore music. Freestyle is more about love and about a beautiful life and about broken hearts. Meanwhile, the new generation prefers to hear about shooting and killing and sex, and I think freestyle was more of an innocent era, and I think it's something that should come back with the new generation to make them be maybe a little softer.
I don't know. I actually think it's starting to come back a little more. I've heard a lot of new songs now that actually sound like freestyle songs. So I'm hoping it never really went down. I'm hoping it's just gonna kind of make a comeback, and everybody will start to get into it again.
Well, I think a lot of music was thrown out there. A lot of just a lot of tracks were thrown out there, and the music itself, the mathematical formula of what makes freestyle became something else. Became the mathematical formula in it. Some tracks they hit it right on the money, and other tracks were not so much on the money. So combination of many things, and a lot to do with the industry, not the art, but the industry of the freestyle, and the understanding between the radio DJs and the freestyle industry. Something there happened, and exactly, a lot of people came out with a lot of stuff, and then probably we a lot of DJs got confused, and DJ took it out of the rotation in the radio station, and then all DJs, all radios, they communicated, and probably that was the
you had a lot of freestyle artists that were coming up with original songs, different, trying to be themselves. And then you have artists that are just making the same beats. All the songs started sounding the same. You had labels that said freestyle's hot, let's make money off it. Same beat, same music, same, so people got tired of it. And not only the people, the radio stations, but that's my opinion. Again, opinions are like behinds. Everyone's got one. If you'll notice in any of the songs that Trilogy has done, none of them sound the same. They're all original. And the same thing, and I admire them, and I mention it, and I'm not trying to, I don't kiss nobody's behind, K7, TKA, oh man, my boys, George Lamond, all of them, I love them. They did the same thing. They were unique in what they did. We were unique in what we did. So we are ourselves, and we kept moving. You have a new genre of music that came out, dance, freestyle, and everybody wanted to be a freestyle singer. So sooner or later, originality went out the window. So it went down because I think it was time for it to go down, and now it's time for it to come up again. Is it gonna be as great, as lucrative, as unique as it was? No, it never is the second time around. But who knows? Only God knows.
It got watered down.
Yeah,
Tremendously. It got watered down. Too many people came out. The industry, the computer industry, started putting stuff out there that didn't need to be out there. Companies were very greedy and trying to just make a CD just to make a CD, and didn't take the time to polish the music and pretty much just have a more judgmental mind. They just took anything and put it on a CD, and before you know it, people just got deterred. They didn't want to buy the music because they didn't know who these people were, and the talent level was it became really, really watered down. It really did.
Well, I believe the best is yet to come. I believe that sometimes I talk about freestyle, and I say it's this hurricane. We do have to take it up to category 5. We're something like a tropical storm at this particular moment, but we are working on taking this tropical storm and converting this musical hurricane all the way, and taking it all the way to category 5 or more. So I think the best is yet to come for us. Happy to have collaborated in something that is historical, like our music, freestyle. It means a lot to a lot of people, and freestyle is here to stay. It's not gonna go anywhere. It's historical. It's part of us, and It's one of those sounds that bring us Latinos in the United States together, no matter where you're from. It could be I go to California, Mexican Americans and Cuban Americans, Puerto Rican Americans, Dominican, wherever you are, from wherever you are American, it brings us together. So I'm super happy that I had, you know, two small collaboration in this beautiful, great movement called Latin Freestyle.
What I think that needs to happen is somebody from like a major artist needs to, like Jennifer Lopez or a Mark Anthony, who started off with freestyle. If one of those particular people were able to just make one more song, and with the following that they have, they will captivate the interest of the rest of basically, you know, the fans, and that will probably help give it a good kick. Give it a good kick and boost. And from there, people start liking it again, capturing the feeling of the freestyle, and start acquiring the older music, the newer music, and looking around to see what's good. And from there, things will become elevated. That's the only way I believe it's going to happen. As much as you want to push it, as much as you can, it's very difficult to move a mountain by yourself. If you look back in the 50s, you had music. In the 60s, you had music. And you will always, the music today is not being made anymore. But when you hear a song, you know what year, what era it came from. And freestyle has the same reputation as well. You pretty much know when you hear a freestyle song, it came from the 80s or the early 90s. And most of it is not acknowledged in the later years because, you know, things change. But it's never going to die. It's impossible. It's impossible. It's already in the Hall of Fame of music. You will always be able to find it. It's just impossible to destroy.